Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Dr. Bagley again. Um, I did not expect this, but there were some corrections, not corrections, but some advanced understanding on that last video I just did. I guess it's part one. So what it is there were some questions on the guy side and the girl side, well, not lady side, I should say, and a little bit more expounding on circumstances. So before I get into it, I want to express how the brain looks. Now I know a lot of you guys don't care, but this is what we're going to roll with. So this is the reproduction, that little spot right in there. That's that not reproduction. This is the reptilian brain. This is the one that says, hey, I see you, I want to run from you, or I see you, I want to fight you, or I see you, I want to mate with you. That's derived by that little brain right there. Outside of that is the limbic system. That's that little white area. This is called a system because it controls all of your hormones within your body. So it's a system that derives the hormones within your body, and then all of this that we are commonly seeing for the brain, that is the neurocortex. This is the department of neurons where it builds memory of all of your experiences from birth to now. Okay, in doing what we're about to do, let's go into three questions. All right, so the first question is, one, how do I find before having sex, are they a sex addicted or are they the securing type partner? And since I did say the last video was for teenagers and up, I thought this was very appropriate, and I do need to make a correction or an adjustment, I should say. Like I mentioned, and let me just recap just for a second. In the very beginning of a guy or a girl, when the attraction comes in, the attraction basically says, I don't want to run from them. I don't need to fight with them. I think I would like to mate with that person. That's the attraction. And what I said was that attraction builds a sexual hormone for us to want to have sex. And in doing so, after having sex, if the guy decides to stick around or the girl decides to stick around, that is someone who has a different type of hormone, which is now applying towards the security aspect of the relationship, or at least the person. And what that basically means is they'll wake up the next day and say, or feeling is a hormone, feel like I need to go out and provide, take care of. So the day after, one will get up and say, hey, let's go have breakfast. Something as simple as that is easy to figure it out. But the next day, if a guy says, hey, I'll talk to you later, I'll see you, call me whenever, that's the sexual side, and that's what I refer to as a sexual addicting type individual, someone who is not there for long term. Okay, so here's the key. How do I know or determine, guy and girl, before having sex, because I want to have sex, because the hormone says we should mate, if they are the playing or a sexual addicting type, or are they the securing individual? Well, the answer to that question, and ladies, it really applies to you mostly, it is extremely hard to determine or cipher if a guy is with you for the long haul or just with you for the sex. And then the addicting aspect of the hormone which derives of the sexual pleasure. The only thing one could say or ask, and even asking they could lie, and that is, how many partners have you had in a year, or two, or three, or however? Whatever is a comfortable number for you, then that is a comfortable number for you. Maybe one date for the last 2 years. Is that good, right? Or 4 dates because a guy or the girl is actively wanting someone in their life, and especially with social media. To say it, it is extremely hard. And unfortunately, in today's time, with other factors into it, our kids are really following through this process of having this attraction through the hormone of a mating process, and they're having to have sexual activities at an earlier age. And then coming to find out that that person is really not there for the long haul. They're just there for pleasure, and they're only there until the pleasure goes away, and then that goes away. So it is hard, but one could ask questions. One could see their idea of their lifestyle. If someone has their own place, if someone has their own job, if someone has the ability to sustain themselves. So it's a bigger picture, but at the end of the day, ladies, it's a gut feeling. One has to adjust. Now, why do I say you have to look at a gut feeling? It's simple. When a guy and or a girl, ladies, have this hormone flowing through your body, that hormone is stronger than heroin. And that is why it's so addicting. And if you have a person who is driven and knows the game, right, the game, they will say and can be and paint a picture about anything and everything just to get the objective. And the objective is simple: to get that hormone fulfilled. And then once that hormone is fulfilled, unfortunately, then it's almost too late, because then the hormone fades away and they wake up into their right mind, or the hormone goes away and it's replaced by another hormone, and that is, I want to provide security. So unfortunately, I'm sorry if there's not a good solid answer to the question, especially when it comes to our youth. The only thing I can suggest for parents is simply be the example. Know who you're dating, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then be very communicative, and I would simply say over communicate, overly ask questions, and overly prove whatever you say. If someone says something, they should be able to prove it. And if they're able to prove everything they're saying, then again, go with your gut. Because you can ultimately have someone who has their house, has a nice car, has plenty of money, and they still might be a sexually addicted individual, use you, and then go on to the next one. Or they may just be a student and don't have any of that, and have sexual relations and want to dedicate their life to you. That's all I really can say. So that's the first question. Is there a way to find out before having sex, is the person a sexually addicted type person, or are they the provider type person? And the answer is no. So let me give you another thought. Boaz and Ruth, for all you Christians. And non-Christians, it's okay. You can still look it up and read it. It's a short story. Naomi and Ruth was in Boaz's land. Ruth was tilling the field that Boaz owned. And over a season or two, Boaz, by his account, was watching her. It is an idea that I don't know where we viewed off of it, but if the olden days when parents put kids together for marriage, it was the idea that even though the kids didn't know each other very well, the parents knew each other very well. And it was the idea that we need to watch, we need to pay attention to these individuals that we're trying to date and build a relationship with. In context, what does that mean in today's time? Well, put together a profile of their Facebook page or their Instagram or whatever and however you see them. Because pictures speak 1,000 words or sentences or whatever. Take each picture and define those words. Define it. Define what you see. Define what you feel towards that. And don't look at just the sexual part, because that is the issue at hand. If you look at them in just a sexual position, you're going to fall in the trap of having relations if they allow it. So look at an individual and say, is this someone a secure provider? Is this person, do they have a profile of someone who looks like they're willing to take care of me and the kids, or the relations of itself? All you have to do is just look at their profile and come to terms to deciding, do they look like they're sexually addicted, or do they look like they're solid and secure in their position? Now, again, that's not a foolproof. That's just a good start in Boaz and Ruth position. Watch them. Watch to see them. Build a profile. Ask yourself and categorize them. Are they a sexually addicted person, guy, girl? Or are they a secure individual, guy or girl? Okay? So I hope that helps a little bit better. Number two question. All right. So from a man's position, and I'm saying it like that because he doesn't want to need to anyway. How do I know if a woman is wanting me for sex? So how do I know if she's looking for sex? Okay. And vice versa, ladies. You kind of sort of need to know this too, because this sometimes alters the futuristics of your relationships. In the beginning, and again, I'm using the brain position. In the beginning, the mating position, the attraction, but it's ultimately mating. The hormones that is kicked in, you ladies, I understand you trying to attract a guy, and the guy is trying to attract you to him. And sometimes it comes together, and that's a good thing. Now, let's say, assume the guy is willing to be the secure guy. He's willing to be with you. All right. Let me just say it in self position. How do I know if she is there with me for money? Okay. Here's the psychology and the psychological and the social side of the issue at hand is ultimately how she presented herself at the end of the day should change after she gets you. Okay. If a lady is trying to, in the very beginning, show a little sexual interest in herself and present herself to you, guys, and she's talking, I like, for example, she has a job, she has a house, she's independent by nature, which is a good thing, guys. She's independent. She doesn't need a man. She just wants a man, because who wants to die alone position. You get with her. She has her own, and she's secure, and she's independent, and she's surviving herself. Perfect. In that sexuality of attraction, you guys have sex. Boom. Watch her. Does she change? Is she willing to change. Ladies, is the guy wanting you to change, or is the guy wanting you to look or continuously look sexy? Guys, if she's not willing to change, meaning there should be a look of singleness and there should be a look of a person who's in a relationship. If she doesn't want to change, she is on the sexual addiction side and she's on the prowl for the winner. Let me say it like that. In that context, if she's not willing to change because you and her are in that idea of stage 3 of wanting to build each other through the neurocortex point of view, then she's using you. She's not serious about you. She's just using you. If she's willing to change her ways to accommodate the relationship, not accommodate the man, ladies, but to accommodate the relationship. So let me explain. Let me veer off, guys. Let me talk to the ladies. Ladies, guys do not want to compete. They're competing to get you. Once they say or act of, I got you, I'm going to take care of you, they don't want to compete anymore. They just want to settle down and take care of the family, or however that looks like, right? If you continuously look sexy after you get a guy, if he doesn't say something, he's thinking it, he is not strong enough and secure enough to compete. Even an alpha guy like me eventually would get tired of the competing, because all I want is somebody just to sit down and relax and be with. That's the objective, to be with someone, ladies. It's the idea now that the guy wants you, you want him, change. Make it secure, make the relationship secure. So he's not controlling you, it's you're in control of providing a security for him as he and you are trying to present a security for the family. I hope that makes sense. So guys, if they're not willing to change, she's using you. If all she's focused on is her beauty, she's using you. If she's only thinking about the kind of car you drive, the house you live in, the clothes you wear, the restaurant you go out to, she's using you. If she's concerned just simply about, can we just take it easy and relax and let it be us kind of deal, give her a chance. She may not be using you. But guys, your insecurities, do not let your insecurities cloud the fact all women want a man who brings a security to the table. All women, men, I'm repeating myself, want a man to provide a security to the table. So guys, if you're not in a position to provide the security at the level that the woman is at and bring her higher or keep her at that level, don't date her. Don't, just let it go. Because she's going to get tired of you and then break up with you because you're just not the man. All right. So ladies, let me talk about you now. If you have a guy and he's dressing very casual and you're dressing very sexual because you look sexually good, that's a conflict. And even though he doesn't say something, there's going to be a conflict. There's going to be a conflict. It is one thing to get him, capture him through the sexual tendencies position. It's another thing to keep him because of the competing position. But on the other hand, ladies, If he wants you to continuously look sexy, wherever you go, I want you to show off a little leg, show off a little breast, show off this, show off that. He's using you. And you are classified in the general term as a trophy girl. So, if he is wanting you to look sexy, at the end of the day, he's paying for it. He will pay for it, but he's still ultimately using you. If he's looking casual and laid back and you ladies are looking too sexy, be careful of that position. And guys, if she is not willing to change after the fact, meaning she looked like she was single to get you, but now she doesn't look like she's in a relationship, she still looks single, then she's more likely using you too. So you have to be careful and don't, how do I say this? In this position, if you don't want to go down a long road of putting emotion, time, energy, relations, like kids and family members, into a person that you're working with just to find out that they're not the right one, may I suggest simply, as soon as the red flag comes up, take note of it and adjust your position to that. Typically, it is not that they can hide over a period of time. One red flag, maybe. 2 red flags, no. 3, definitely no. Gotta go. So be mindful, ladies. Do not excuse a red flag. You have to be a little bit more disciplined to lay it out and present it. And if they don't adjust to it, call it for what it is. Okay? All right. Let me see. All right. Man providing. Okay. Ladies, men providing. This comes from a question from a lady. In your immediate position of the dating, or what we call the mating position, stage 1, you're looking attractive, and you have a person in front of you that you're thinking about wanting to build something with. Okay. When it comes to when it comes to keeping a guy or a girl, one has to first have goals of what you're looking for. And I'm not talking about a dollar amount. I'm not talking about a physical position. I'm talking about once you two independent individuals come together, right? My tone is rising because you can tell my frustration. Not personally, but just as a counselor. The frustration is when you going out there and you're single and you're going out there, you should know what you want and what you don't want, what you're willing to keep, what you're not willing to keep. Okay, that's fine. A lot of you have that. But at the same time, the question is, what is your 5 years looking like with this person? Because if you don't have a goal in mind, meaning I got 2 kids, they're in middle school, they're getting ready to go to high school, and after they go to high school, they're going to go to college. I don't know how that's going to work and how that's looking, but I know that's where we're going, and that's what I need to focus on. That's a goal, right? That's a purpose, that's motive. Your mating process should in line or be enhanced, because I've always said that. Your relationship should be enhanced in your goal setting, and what their goal setting and your goal setting, you should come together and enhance one another. Now, here's the problem. When you look at a person across the way and you look at their profession, you're going to lose. You are going to lose. Their profession doesn't mean nothing. They can be a doctor, a lawyer, a janitor. Their profession means nothing. That's just their job. That's how they make currency, money. But if you're looking for an individual, what is their goal? So me and my woman, we sit down, we talk about our situations as an individual, and then we planned out how do we put this together and what does it look like moving together forward. So me and Jira, that's what we did. We sit down. Now, we sat down only because I and she had a goal. We already had in our mind what we wanted, what we didn't want, and the direction in the next years coming. And if you don't have that, you're going to just pick and choose and hope for the best, and you're going to lose. Because if you don't have a goal, then you're going to mold yourself into that person's goals. And if you mold yourself into that person's goals, you're going to lose your identity. And you'll wake up one day and you're not going to like yourself. And then you're going to resent them and hate them. And then you're going to blame them for something you did because you didn't have what you're supposed to have in the beginning. And now you realize after the fact that this isn't someone that I don't want to be with. So in order, or I should say also, or they don't want to be with you. So how to keep someone? How do you keep a person? You only keep those who enhance you, regardless of the sexual tendencies or the mating process. But you can only keep them to enhance you if you already have something to enhance. We call it goals, motive, purpose, whatever. You have to have that. If you look at their profession, like I said, you're going to lose. So, look at them like Boaz. Watch them, build a profile. In their profile, sorry about that. In their profile of their Facebook, Instagrams, and all their social medias, put them in two categories. Are they sexually addicted position, or do they look like the secure type person? How do I know if they want me for money or not? This is a little time consuming, but when you get with them, have relations with them, first ask the questions. If they pass all of that, prove themselves, all of that, you decide you want to lay with them, fine. Are they willing to now change? If they look a certain way single, and then they start looking a certain way, or the same way, I should say, in a relationship, then that could be a issue right there, right? Hey, sweetheart, how you doing? All right. So Boaz, watch them, ask the questions, and then after the relations, that part, you then watch their how they act towards you to determine if they're using you for money or not. Question from a guy. And that is, if they look sexy before and then you get with them and they're still looking sexy, no, not really. They're no. And ladies, on the opposite side, if you look sexy to grab them and they want you to look sexy after you are established, then be careful. You might be classified as a trophy girl and he's just using you. Okay. How do I keep them? You have to first have goals in your own life. You have kids. You want a future with your kids and you want to build a future with you and your kids as a single parent. The guy or whomever you bring into your life must enhance you. They also must have goals and all of those things. And your goals and their goals coming together will enhance the relationship, at the same time not losing your identity. They're not losing their identity because we're not looking at each other's profession. We're looking at each other's goals. Take care of the kids, provide a lifestyle, all of those type things. Okay? Never, ever look at a person's profession. If you do, and you build a relationship off of that, you will lose. 20 years of counseling. Take it for whatever you want. All right, guys. So those are the 3 questions. I hope that helped someone. Again, I'm only answering these questions off that last video, part 1 that I did. If you have any more questions, comments, concerns, please, please, please keep them coming. I'll be more than happy to share with everyone, because if one has a question, I know a lot of us have questions, and the only way to help one another is ask the question, please. This is Dr. Bagley. Thank you very much. Jira, I'll call you in a little bit. Everybody else, have a great day. Bye-bye.